What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies? Welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Caleb Hammer is at it again, talking to the dumbest socialist communist that you've ever heard of in your entire life. So he exposed her, and I cannot wait to show you guys about it. Mamdani is telling y'all, turn your AC up to 78 degrees. That's what y'all get for electing these nut jobs. Before you know it, they're going to be telling you when and where to walk your dog, how much food you can have in your refrigerator. You just wait. That's what communism is. Is y'all a racial slur is one of the stories we're going to talk about. I guess a black person who, you know, a perpetual victim, the Fabergé egg of society, decide to call in on a man and call him all kind of cuss words and slurs because he said the word y'all, as if that's racist. We shall see. I have a great interview with Ellie Hirsch about the dangers of Ozempic. I think a lot of people need to understand these things because a lot of people are taking GLP-1s, and you should know about this great interview. Before we get to the end of that, we got to talk about the self-defense shooting, the potential self-defense shooting that happened in the parking lot in Florida. A lot of people are confused about it. Is it self-defense? Is it not self? Is this murder? We're going to talk about it on the Officer Tatum Show. Hold the phone.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I got to make me a synergy. Y'all see, I wasn't that pumped up when I was in the intro. That's because I ain't got my synergy on deck, all right? I got the synergy night, so I woke up with some good energy, but this will get me sustained throughout the day. So make sure you get you one of these synergy cycles, right? Get you the day and the night drink. We have the bundles, 50% off. 50% off over 4th of July weekend. I ain't never discounted Synergy since we started it 3 years ago. This is going to be the first discount. 50% off the bundle, day and night. This is your opportunity to try it. Money back guarantee. All right, let's get into a few things. But before I get there, I want to tell you guys I have a Substack. So if you like reading some of the things that I do instead of looking at the visual of it, we have Substack available for you. All you got to do is go to The Officer Tatum on Substack. Also, we have a podcast. So if you enjoy watching this on YouTube, you can also get it on the podcast where you don't have to worry about keep your phone open and all that other stuff. You can just listen to it while you're running, working out, and being informed and entertained at the same time. So download the Officer Tatum Show on the podcast network. Now let's get to the first story at hand, and this is the story that has a lot of controversy, whether or not this young lady was justified in shooting this guy in a parking lot. Let me start with this. It's sad because somebody died and somebody has to live with the fact that they killed somebody over a parking spot. I want to employ to you guys. I know you want to slap people and cuss them out when they do things. I do. I had to ask God for forgiveness. I be wanting to run people off the road and turn their car into a smoldering fireball. But you have to use common sense and think these things through. I was talking to my wife about somebody that I want to slap when I see them in person, but I'm not going to do it because I'm a good Christian. But you have to think about what will happen and the unintentional consequences of doing some of the things out of anger, right? I slap a person, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to slap this person. You slap them, you knock them out, they bump their head on the ground, they die. Now you didn't want to go to prison for life for killing somebody because you were angry and think you were going to just do one thing and it led to another. All right, let me stop talking and get to the story. Roll it.
A father of three losing his life over a parking spot. And tonight, the woman accused of shooting him claims that she fired in self-defense. Local 10's Rochelo spoke exclusively to the victim's daughter. He's live down in North Lauderdale with what the video shows. Rush.
So you just mentioned this, and this is important. This woman is claiming self-defense. She'll have to argue that she had a fear, an imminent fear for her life. Well, tonight, we have the video, and you'll see it for yourself. And what we also have tonight are the words of the victim's daughter. And you'll see how heartbroken she is. The backstory on this case, she was estranged from her dad for many years. Recently, they were trying to rebuild their lives when he lost his life. We're going to start this with the video. The victim with the gray shirt, the woman with a gun. There is a standoff, and then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
A daughter in tears. Amanda lost her 62-year-old father, Bart, shot in the stomach in a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
Cops say an adult female and the victim were involved in a verbal altercation over a parking space in the Walmart parking lot prior to the shooting.
I don't like to deal with death and talk about it at all. That's why I was very hesitant to do this interview.
But you are doing it. Why do you want to speak about your dad?
Because I want my dad to be remembered for who he was and not who the media is portraying him to be.
According to investigators, the shooter, the adult female, remained on scene, cooperated with detectives, and she told them the shooting was in self-defense.
He loved his country. He loved his country.
Bart served in the military. There are no charges in this case at this point. Amanda says she was estranged from her dad for many years.
Okay.
But recently...
So she's estranged from her dad. They got back together. He's turned his life around like we hear all the time. Everybody always turn their life around when they get killed. But this situation, based on what I'm observing, this appears to be a self-defense claim. I mean, you got to think, in the state of Florida, they have stand your ground laws. What does stand your ground laws mean? That means you do not have a duty to retreat. So if you decided to stand here and a person is encroaching on you, you don't have to run. You don't have to avoid them. You can stand right here and stand your ground. And if they encroach upon you and you believe that you could suffer serious bodily injury, which means the guy can beat you half to death or kill you, you can utilize deadly force in self-defense. And so based on what I know and what we can see here, this looks like self-defense to me. Now, there are other contributing factors that could lead this to not be in self-defense, meaning that if where he was walking was to his own vehicle and she shot him, that would preclude this from being self-defense. I don't know what conversations they had before this turned violent, which could also be a contributing factor of whether or not this is self-defense. But based on everything I have seen, this man, whatever argument that they got into, he chased her down. He approached her without ceasing while she had a gun in her hand, trying to avoid him. This is almost textbook self-defense. You have a right to pull a gun out and threaten serious bodily injury to somebody that you think is going to attack you. And then once you point the gun at them and tell them to stop, and they chase you around a car and they keep chasing you, and your back is against the wall, you have nowhere else to go, there's no duty to retreat, and you shoot the guy one time to stop him from encroaching on you, that to me sounds like self-defense. Let's watch the video.
A witness captured the shooting on a cell phone. And videos
Okay,
from
pause right here. As you can see, they seem to have gotten into a conflict at some place in this parking lot. But look at what he's doing and look at what she's doing. He's walking around the car and she's trying to walk away from him. You can't say that that's his car or her car because neither one of them ended at the car that we're looking at right here. So she's moving in the direction. He's following her. Watch it.
Cameras on a nearby Tesla show the crime as it happened. A man and a woman are arguing. The man
right
is
here.
seen.
She's backing away from him. It looked like he followed her around the car. And she's still backing away from him, and he's still going towards her around this car. Keep watching.
Walking toward the woman, follows her around a vehicle.
Time out.
A few moments.
She's moving away from him. She's turning her back to him. She's walking away. What is he doing? Why is he still approaching a woman with a gun in her hand? This, to me, this puts you in a particular mindset that what is his mentality that they're arguing over a parking spot and he's continuously approaching her as she's backing away with a gun in her hand. This man is going to approach her even now when he gets shot. What is he planning on doing if she don't move? Is he going to put his hands on her? He clearly don't care she got a gun in her hand. To me, that heightens the suspicion of how violent is this guy that he's going to approach a person with a gun pointed at him. And here's a little bit more of the video rolling.
Later, investigators say she shot him. A relative sent us this picture of Bart to Google.
they're trying to make his image look better. Only objection that I would have to this being self-defense, go back a little bit to the clip where they're standing in front of the car. The only way I could see this turning poorly for her, can play the clip?
A few moments later, investigators...
Pause. As if that white car is his vehicle. That's the only thing that I could see that could cause this woman to end up getting charged, is that if that man was going back to his own vehicle, which is this white car, and she's standing there, and she decides to shoot him, not allowing him to get back in his own car, and his argument, or the argument from the prosecution would be, is that the man was not a threat to her. The man is just walking to get into his car, and she shot him. That's the only thing that can get this woman hemmed up. But if that's not his car right there, and she has been dodging him, walking away from him with the gun in her hand, and he approaches her for the last time, she don't have to wait to get beat up. She don't have to wait for him to pull a gun. She don't have to wait for any of those things. If she fears serious bodily injury or death, she can utilize deadly force against this man. And a man of his size, maybe she can argue that she was intimidated and she was afraid he was going to do something. Who knows what he said? He could have been saying, "I'm going to kill you." We don't know. Now, what we do know is that she hadn't been arrested yet. Now, the reason that she hadn't been arrested is because they have not determined if this goes beyond self-defense. And if a person is not a flight risk, they'll let you stay at home while they investigate. Because what happens is, if they arrest you too soon and they don't have all the evidence they need to proceed in the case will get thrown out. So there's a time period that once you get arrested, they have to try you. They can't just arrest you and then wait to a month or two to figure out what the evidence is. They have an ability that they have to at least get an initial appearance. And that initial appearance has to come very quickly after you've been arrested. I think it's like 3 days or something like that. So anyway, now let's get to Mamdani. This is what y'all voted for. Yeah, I don't know how y'all can't see this coming. I can see it coming a mile away. Do you know what socialism is? Socialism and communism means that all the means of production and ownership of property belongs to the government. And the government is run by people. And if they own all the means of production and property ownership, when they tell you to do something, you got to do it. If they tell you can't wash your dishes from 3 to 6 at night and they own your property, that's what they going to tell you. When they mismanage your tax dollars and they cannot sustain the health of the city, they going to make you cut back on food, water, resources. They're going to, you over. And you know what? You gave it to them to do it. You can't even call in on the police and report that because you gave them permission. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. Listen to what he say. Now that the heat wave is coming through, and I don't know what heat wave y'all dealing with on the East Coast, bro. It's 100 degrees at night in Phoenix at nighttime. Overnight, 105 as the low. So y'all got to stop being wussies and step y'all game up and get some real heat out here. Where it's 117 degrees. You can cook some eggs on the concrete, baby. That seatbelt is a brand. You go put that seatbelt. We have peel seatbelts off people. Your dog won't last 20 seconds in the car by itself. People going to prison all day long, leaving their dog in the car. They shut the door to leave their dog in the car to go check the tire pressure. Dog dead, right there, dead with the air conditioner on, dead. That's how hot it is out here. So don't come move here from New York. All right, anyway, enough of the joking. Roll the clip.
It's been a great month to be a fan of New York City. But this week, it's about to get a lot tougher. We are entering what could be the most extreme heat wave this city has seen in over a decade. It can hit 100 degrees, with temperatures feeling as hot as 1hundred12 and staying hot into the weekend. We're ready, but we want to make sure you are too.
Time out. It's no we. No, we. We ain't in Europe. It's not we. What do you mean we ready? I hope that you are. This is the socialist nut job explaining you into an internment camp. We ready. No, he's saying that we're going to make you do something because we haven't prepared enough for this. That's what he's saying. Roll the clip.
Celebrating the World Cup, or the 4th of July, or renting out MSG to get married, hypothetically. The most important thing you can do in this heat is to stay indoors with air conditioning. This is crucial for kids, older adults, those with respiratory or heart conditions, as well as for your pets. Now, if you do go out, be mindful of signs of heat stroke, including confusion, dizziness, nausea, and trouble breathing. Call 911 immediately if you or someone you know is experiencing these symptoms. If you don't have AC, or yours simply isn't cutting it, find one of NYC's cooling centers, like this library. Visit nyc.gov/beattheheat to find one of the hundreds of cooling centers open near you, now through Saturday. You can also call 311 or just look outside. Link NYC kiosks will display directions to a nearby cooling center. If you're working outside in this heat, it's important to be extra careful and know your rights. If you're a delivery worker, you have the right to use the bathroom at any business you are picking up from. And remember, the city's protected time off law applies to heat-related health issues as well. We're especially concerned about keeping homeless New Yorkers safe.
All right,
That's why, for the first time in city history, we're deploying...
Lord, help us. As you notice, this doesn't apply to police officers, right? Public servants that are out here risking their life, they can't come use a bathroom in your house. Wherever they're delivering service when you call 911. They can't go use the bathroom in your house. He's talking about homeless people, y'all. They wanted the homeless people to come and take a doo-doo in your business facility, and you can't tell them no. That's all that he's saying. Because if you're not homeless, you have a house to go to, and you have AC at your house. He's talking about homeless people. They're trying to make it seem like all y'all the same. It's homeless people. He want homeless people to be able to go in the library and look at porn on the computer and wank off in front of your kids and take a dump in the bathroom, snort coke or drugs in the bathroom so they're not too hot on the streets. That's all he's saying. And the cooling centers and the websites where it show you how to, it's all, they blowing your money on this stuff. Roll the clip.
Cool vans that will provide any New Yorker who needs it medical care, water, and transport to cooling centers. We're also increasing street canvassing and other outreach this week. But we need your help too. So call 311 if you're worried about someone you see. We'll be keeping you updated all week with weather forecasts and resources to help you stay cool. Be sure to text Notify NYC to 692-692 for the latest updates. Let's look out for each other on this scorching first week of July. Stay cool, my friends.
That fool got shades on indoors. You know he lame as a mug. All right, let's get to what he really wanted y'all to do with your air conditioning units at your house. At your house. And then after he finished, I'm gonna tell you who he's not asking to turn their AC down or up or whatever you want to call it. Roll it.
And to every business owner, please set your thermostats to 78 degrees to alleviate the stress on our power grid. Every worker in New York City has the right to a safe workplace, and that includes safety in extreme heat.
What? Make sure you turn your AC to 78 degrees. Roll the clip.
Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani has a solution to beat the heat. He told New Yorkers, set your AC to 78 degrees. Turn off lights and electronics you're not using and unplug what you can. Everyone roasted him from stem to stern, with people saying this is so out of touch. One user posting 78 degrees. Welcome to communism, people. Another writing, do you feel the warmth of collectivism yet? One post calls out Mamdani voters and says, I have texted all my coworkers who voted for Zoran to send me a photo of their AC set to 78. And former LA mayoral hopeful Spencer Pratt also chimed with this warning, communism always goes the same way. First, they promise you the world, free this, free that, abundance for all. How? Don't ask. And they get into power and the rationing begins. First a smiley ask, then a demand. Then you use too much energy, comrade. My favorite troll, actually, Kennedy, was Spencer Pratt's tweet where he said, show us your thermostat, commie.
Exactly.
And that's what we all want to see. Show us the proof, buddy.
So interestingly, and I was actually shocked by this, the Department of Energy does recommend during the summer to keep your air at 75 to 78 degrees. Eric Adams, who preceded Mamdani, recommended that as well. Now, is my thermostat going to be at that? Absolutely not. I loved Spencer Pratt saying, show me your thermostat, because I'm willing to bet Mamdani's is not at 78 degrees. But my favorite post came on TMZ, and they cited this. Someone asked, will the good folks at Madison Square Garden tomorrow. Follow the mayor's lead. 78 in a tux sounds tough. Of course, they are referencing Taylor Swift's wedding. I somehow think that it will be nice and cool inside Madison Square Gardens as everyone pours in their tuxedos. But everyone else in New York City, if you're around MSG, bump it up to 78 and suffer through summer.
Including the hundreds of NYPD officers that are slated to be on the street outside with no air whatsoever.
He should be outside helping them.
Yeah, so let's put this in perspective, y'all. I put it on my life that Madison Square Garden is not going to be 78 degrees at Taylor Swift's wedding. They're going to crank that thing down to 58 degrees in there because people are going to be dancing and spitting on each other and drinking booze and having a good time. But they want all you other companies, you poor peasants, to turn yours to 78 degrees so you can help with the grid. But Taylor Swift don't need to help with the grid. Just you bums need to help with the grid. And they're going to soft pedal it as we need help with energy in businesses. Then they're going to go to the personal houses. This young lady said it best. Let me play her clip. Roll it.
New York City is set to hit highs of 100 degrees today, and Zoran Mamdani wants you to set your thermostat to 78 degrees in order to alleviate the power grid. Oh, but it's only business owners, Liz. I'm sorry, it starts with business owners, and then it goes to everyone. Oh, well, the power grid needs more alleviating, so everyone should set their thermostat to 78 degrees. 78 degrees is not cool. It is heat. That is what I set my thermostat to when I am cold. When it's 100 degrees out, especially in a place like New York City where the heat gets trapped and it feels warmer, you should be setting your thermostat to like 72 degrees max. And here's the thing, you guys are the ones that are paying for the electricity for the air conditioning. So why are you listening to Zoran Mamdani? He doesn't control that. You do for now. But if people keep electing people like Mamdani, these Democrat socialists, because they're too lazy to work, they all want everything for free and they think that the government should be taking care of them, then sooner or later the government actually is going to have control over your thermostats. This is where the danger starts. So business owners, people of New York City, set your thermostats to whatever you want because Mamdani does not control you.
Yeah, you got to process this. Liz did a good job. You got to process this. Why do they care? Why do they need to tell people where to put their air conditioning unit to? What does that mean? Are you telling me or trying to present to the people that you guys don't have enough infrastructure to manage people putting their AC at a reasonable number? Although they're paying for it. So what you're telling me is that although you're paying for your AC, the government will mismanage power resources that will screw you, even though you have to pay for it. And as soon as they get that foot in the door, and now you're stuck, they're going to make you do whatever they want to do. They'll make you go to 80. Once they get AI and technology and they get the whole city integrated into this socialist perspective, then they can begin to change your AC at their will and tell you you can't drive today because greenhouse gas or something stupid. Not greenhouse gas, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Carbon dioxide, monoxide, carbon dioxide. All right, getting confused. They're going to be telling you it's too much pollution in the air. You got to walk today. Oh, your car is a gas-powered car. You can't drive gas-powered cars in the city. You need to sell your car. Oh, you have too many guns. We need to take your guns. We're not going to give you the price that you paid for the AR-15. We'll give you $15 gift card to Mamdani's grocery store. And this is how it starts. This is why socialism has never worked anywhere. Because the people in power become corrupt, like humans always are, when they have too much power, and then they begin to leverage that power against you. And they're not always making the best decision that benefits you. They're not going to be in poverty. Zoran Mamdani ain't going to have his AC at 78 degrees. He's just telling y'all to do it. Because now you're under his thumb and control. All right, let's get to this next clip. We got three more things to talk about. Then we're going to take it off for the weekend. I'm going to be gone tomorrow. I'm giving everybody the day off tomorrow. For our 4th of July thing, so we're gonna be gone. We're not gonna have a show. But let's get to the dumb socialist. Let's get to this dumb socialist. This is the epitome of socialism. And your parents I don't know what they did. They abuse you, or I don't know what parents be doing these days. Your kid grew up and be this stupid. You got to hold some responsibility, especially if they grew up in your house. If they didn't grow up in your house or something and you had nothing to do with this, then hey. They grew up in your house and they this stupid and weird, it's your fault. Roll the clip.
I work in finance.
Doing what?
I do corporate finance for stadiums and arenas.
Like Ticketmaster?
Not Ticketmaster, but we do work with Ticketmaster.
Yeah, okay. So you're one of the actual evil capitalists.
By day a villain, by night a hero.
Trying to prevent modern infrastructure? That's weird. That's being a hero? That's weird.
Going to concentration camps. Yeah, I actually just got back
You went
from
to
Delaney.
Auschwitz?
I just got back from Delaney Hall.
Where's that?
That's in New Jersey.
There's a concentration camp in New Jersey?
And many other states as well. Yeah. There are detention
Concentration
centers.
camp?
Yep. Mm-hmm. They have barbed wire and awful living conditions and maggots in the food and abusing the people in there, no due process. That's a concentration camp.
Okay.
And so people are rightfully outraged and are out there to demoralize the people who are going into those.
I asked her what her job was, by the way.
I said finance, and you asked if I was a bad capitalist.
And
I'm a socialist.
Concentration camps. You're a socialist?
Yes.
Okay, you know socialism has never worked. What socialism are you in favor for? Here we go, get ready.
I believe that...
Take a system.
A system?
Take a system in the world that you're in favor of.
Well...
That you would rather be our system.
I just don't want it to be capitalism. Nor do I want it to be...
take a system that has worked, that you like, and would like to replicate here.
Capitalism...
Take a system, please. That has been proven to work in any country, anywhere. That is better than our system, please.
Capitalism...
Yeah, please.
Does not...
Okay, that's great. Yes, you have your talking points. That's wonderful. Now pick a system that has worked anywhere, better than here, that you would rather have.
Well,
I'm waiting for it.
Your definition of better is not valuing the intrinsic value.
I don't give a fuck about my definition, your definition. I'm asking you to choose. Don't cater to my definition.
And I'm choosing socialism.
No. Yeah, but pick it. Pick another country that has worked.
And unfortunately, we are an imperialist.
Never tried real socialism, I bet you.
Imperialism is hurting those socialist countries.
It hurt the USSR?
It's hurting
Weren't they imperialist?
and Venezuela. Yeah, the blockades that we're doing for the
for
oil.
What it's worth, oil production dramatically fell after the state took control of Venezuela, and it hurt their economy dramatically well before our embargo.
I mean, I don't know what else to say, but she's silly. These people, they say anything but capitalism, while they're benefiting from capitalism. She says she's in finance. Some big Fortune 500 company she probably worked for, or maybe adjacent to a Fortune 500 company she worked for, it's all capitalist. That's how she lives. That's how she can afford a lifestyle. But then they want socialism while benefiting from capitalism. It's like the people that think the grass is greener on the other side, right? You got a good woman at home. She cook, she clean, she's sweet to you. She throw it back every now and again, all right, within reason, okay? Y'all gonna get mad at me for that. I'm still a Christian. You married. I said you married. Yeah, I ain't say you single. You married. So, all right, so you know, it's working. It's working. You're happy. But the thing, and then let me add this, because I made a post the other day about the value of the person you marry. Because God is the most important thing in your life. The second most important thing in your life is who you marry. That will determine your success. Okay. And you with this woman, she's doing the thing, she's sweet, she's kind, everything else you would like in a woman. And you grow in your business, you become a multimillionaire. And your sorry start looking over on the fence, want to see what Sally got over there. And you start creeping over to Sally and being like, oh, that may be better than what I got. You go over there, and of course she's not better than what you got because the grass is never greener. Sally got PTSD and all kinds of stuff she ain't never dealt with. Sally been ran through like a rental car company. All kind of stuff going on with Sally over there. And then you realize you actually benefited from this good woman, and your selfishness made you think that you want to go try something different. That's the same thing with capitalism. Capitalism is paying the bills. Capitalism is making happiness and cell phone production and travel to space and innovation and all, and you living in this. But you're still looking over Sally, socialism on the other side, that ain't never done nothing for you. In theory, it sound good, big booty Latina. In theory, it sound good, big long legs, blonde hair, whatever y'all proclivities are. Same thing women. Oh, he's 6'3", 6'5", dark skin, whatever y'all like. But that's in theory. That's not in reality. And y'all are willing to leave capitalism and go to socialism that have never worked. That's exactly what I see in these, like almost in comparison to relationships. All right, let's get the verdict real quick. I want to tell you guys about verdict, best bourbon on the market. The Guilty is straight bourbon, 6-year, smooth, a lot of flavor on the finish. I'm telling you, man, go look at the reviews. I just go to the reviews because, I could tell you it's great all I want. Obviously, it's my company. But if you look at the reviews, you'll hear the story of what people think about the bourbon. And if you like bourbon with a little sweetness, I say it's a gateway into bourbon, is the Not Guilty. So go on to verdictbourbon.com, give it a try, look at the reviews, order some. I guarantee you'll like it. I can't officially guarantee you like it, but you got to be crazy if you don't like that bourbon. All right. Am I finished saying that? I think I'm finished talking about that. These little weirdos don't understand what socialism is. Let me say this one thing and I'll move on. Socialism, like this is the way it should be presented in school, and it should be presented when people are having this conversation. There is nothing wrong with socialism if people agree to it. If I were to be at my headquarters and I said, hey, it don't matter if I work longer hours than everybody that work here, or I've been, doing all this stuff before I hired certain people here, whatever. I've been the longest lasting employee here for my company, right? I got all these accolades. And I say, I don't care about none of that. Everybody gonna make the same pay, and everybody agree. And we all share in a pool of money, and we all make the same salary. That works, and that's fine if we agree. The part where it does not work is when you put a gun to somebody's head and say, you gonna do this, I'm gonna take your salary and give it to him. I don't care how much he work or don't work, I'm gonna make you give him your money. That's socialism in the context of America that do not work. If you want to come together and a community of people say, hey, let's share in our resources, that's totally fine. I think that's a good thing if you want to do that. But when you start forcing people to be engaged in something they did not agree to, that's not right. And it all starts small, where they start agreeing to this. And on a mass level where you got 300-some million people that live in this country, you cannot do that on a mass level without putting a gun to somebody's head and forcing them into something that they don't agree to. And then you got people that won't work. Because why would I work hard when I could just sit on and let him work hard, and then we still make the same pay? It's like when I go to a grocery store, not a grocery store, I go to a restaurant, and they go, I always hate when I hear this, but I understand to some degree, where you say, hey, man, do y'all pool the tips, or are you going to get the tip? And when they say we pool the tips, that I understand it. It makes sense if everybody's grinding, but it also devalues what I want to do for this one person who has shown a tremendous amount of great service. I'd rather each individual have to fight for their own tips. But I understand how it happens. But if you want to be working in a system where Sally and Jim are killing it, and then you giving half service and y'all all pooling the same money, then why would you improve? You don't have to. Okay, I said enough. All right, let's get to, this racist this racist pizza restaurant owner. And you tell me, is this man racist or not? Based on what you hear. Let me phrase it like this. Who do you think is the problem in this situation? That may be a better one. Roll the clip.
Hey, y'all. Say y'all.
No, I asked you to
No.
Okay.
You got fake tough with me. I asked what kind of chicken barbecue. You said y'all. Who is y'all?
What kind of chicken?
What's the name of this weak shit?
I said.
Nah, shut your bitch ass up. What kind of chicken? I got you on camera too. You said y'all. Who y'all? Who y'all? Who is y'all?
You.
No, you said y'all. You said y'all.
I said
Show
you.
your camera. You said y'all. Shut your racist ass up, you bitch.
I got somebody here.
Racist as hell. Yeah, tell him here you saying y'all. Tell him here you saying y'all.
The
Yeah,
mayor?
you said y'all. Yeah, you said y'all, bitch. Yeah, you know what the you said. Because you are a bitch. You're not even in front of them times. Acting all this racist shit. You're not even in front of them times. Yeah, you a pussy.
Trespassing.
Yeah, ain't nobody trespassing. You racist as hell. I'm gonna make sure I let everybody know. You racist as hell, you little.
Oh, now.
Yeah, you a
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
punk ass up. Shut your punk ass up. Now you tough. Yeah, make sure everybody know you said racist. Who is y'all? Who y'all? Say y'all now. Say y'all. Say y'all now. Say y'all now in front of the kids. Say y'all now.
In front of the kids.
Say y'all now. Yeah, you bitch. Yeah, call the cops. Yeah, make sure you say y'all. Punk ass.
I said you.
You ain't say you. You said y'all. You said y'all.
I said you.
Now don't be a bitch damn. Don't be a bitch damn. You said y'all. You said y'all. You said y'all.
All right, so you know this goes back and forth. Apologize for the words that slipped through. We got to do a better job at cutting when they cuss. We got to blur that out. We let a few through on this time. But who do you think is the problem in this situation? How could you posture yourself up to be so upset if the man did say y'all? What makes you so? I don't understand. That brother gonna walk out of that store, and every black person he meet gonna call him the N-word, and all of this stuff is gonna happen. But he mad at that pizza owner, acting like it's an existential threat to his existence. Is a pizza owner may have said the word y'all. The man said he didn't say y'all. There's not on camera that he said y'all. And how is y'all a racial slur? But then you're so focused on a racial slur that you're willing to call him a B word and cuss him out and threaten him and all of that stuff in front of kids. So you think that the cuss words are less powerful than y'all in front of the kids. And them black kids. The little black kids got to watch you act a fool in this pizza joint. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is why the people of the melanin will never be successful as a group. Never. There will be individuals that do very great things in this country. But as a group of people, we will always have this narrative of complete idiots. You can't find a video with nobody cutting up more than these black people. I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm going to say it because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the, we don't want to say it in front of white people. Man, brother, why are you doing this? And then everybody in the comment section on these black blogs be feeding into this stuff. It's like, bro, why can't you have enough maturity and decorum as a man to say, I don't like what this person said. I don't need to argue with you. I'm just gonna leave your establishment and go down the street. It sounds like they're in Brooklyn somewhere. They got 150,000 pizza places. You go, hey man, I don't like what you said because I'm a mature adult. I don't like what you said, man. I don't think that was right. Could you apologize or whatever? Or, hey, man, I don't like what you said. I'm going to go shop somewhere else. I don't want to patronize your company, or I don't want to participate in your company because I believe you're a racist, or whatever you just said I didn't like. But you yelling and cussing and screaming, and you're doing it in front of a little kid. And so what does a little kid's mind think as a black kid? That this is what they do. This is what my people do. The rage, the flying off the handle, not being able to control emotions. But y'all think that's okay to do that in front of that little black girl. That's why most of y'all ain't gonna really make it nowhere. You ain't gonna make your full potential. You'll make it somewhere. America's easy to make it. You're a complete idiot if you can't make it in America. You're a lazy, sorry nut job, precluding if you got some serious injuries or something like that. You know, like you're quadriplegic. It's difficult. It's more difficult for you, right? If you somehow have a disability, you're on the spectrum of some sort. You got some of this going on. Outside of those people that have uncontrollable things that have gone on that makes it a little difficult to function in a society like this. But for the rest of you sorry son of a guns, you just lazy. That's why you can't do nothing in this country. There's people right now cutting grass in 110-degree weather and can't even speak English. And you can't even get off your butt to go look for a job. You got so many people out here working and making ends meet, and you still complaining. I'm gonna be done with this. I gotta say this. I get so upset, and I know I'm out of touch a little bit financially because I've been able to be successful and I got a decent amount of money. And so little stuff that I used to worry about, I don't have to worry about no more. Like how much my gas costs, and I don't live too far from where I got to go to work every day. So my gas prices are not that high. And so regardless of that, the groceries and all that stuff. But I hear a lot of people complaining as if I can't make it in today's society. Everything is too expensive. And then you go look at their subscriptions. You got $400 a month in subscription. What are you talking about? You're going out to eat every night. You can get some food and cook it at your house. Oh, you got your electric down. You got it at 68 degrees in your house, and you wonder why your electric bill crazy. You don't have to be at 68. You got every brand new phone that has ever come out. What are you doing? What are you talking about? You just went on vacation to Disneyland. You spent $5,000, but you broke and you ain't got enough money to buy. You got 3 cars in your yard, paying insurance on every car. And y'all only need one, and you complaining. I'm not talking about the people watching this. All of y'all are financially stable. I'm talking about the ones. It just makes me mad when people go to nagging and complain. Oh, I can't buy a house no more. What do you need to buy a house for? What do you need to buy a house for? You don't need to buy a house. How about you rent until you make enough money that you can go buy a house? Who said you got to buy a house at 20 years old? Some of y'all don't have a stable enough job to buy a house and maintain the maintenance on a house. You don't need to rent the thing. Who told you you need to buy a house by 30? Well, you don't need to buy a house by 30. You need to be financially stable. And then you can go and spend your resources on a property. And you will make your money back if you do it at 30, 35 years old. Keep your house for 20 years. Most people don't have their house for 20 years. You should be flipping that house anyway and getting up out of that and making the money and making profit off of it. Anyway, I just had to get that out of my chest. I'm tired of hearing people go, the gas is crazy. Well, how about you just go to and from work every day and quit going to that girl house that lived 35 minutes away and you complaining. Quit going over that girl house. You ain't even married to her, but you spending your gas over her house. Got OnlyFans. I want to look at some of y'all who are talking about you are buying OnlyFans and stuff. I don't know how people. Anyway, I'm not trying to get in people's business, but I don't want to hear nobody say nothing to me about you struggling with money and you buying pictures online. you paying $29.99 to see some girl online. Y'all stupid, boy. Anyway, let me get off here before I get in trouble. I need to have a course that I do for people to get y'all in the right mentality. Anyway, I got an incredible interview that I did with Ellie Hirsch, and it was about Ozempic, and I want you guys to watch it because everybody should understand the risk factors in Ozempic. Everybody's using it. GLP-1s, peptides, and I'm a big fan of it. But you need to know where the risk factors are. And I had this conversation with an incredible young lady, very knowledgeable. And I want you guys to hear that interview. Roll it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this before. There's been already over 2,000 lawsuits pending against GLP-1 drug makers and making things like Ozempic and some of these other drugs that you guys are aware of. And the lawsuits are mostly based on intestinal issues. Now, I know you guys have heard this on the internet and people talking about their digestive system being stopped up because of some of these particular GLP-1s. But the thing is that they're not putting the stuff on a label. So that's the biggest problem. They got these side effects and things that are happening to people, and they're not advising you of the issues beforehand. And since I initially thought of this, and since this was brought to my attention, it has now gotten even crazier. There's over 4,000 new lawsuits. And I know a lot of people have heard of the Ozempic face. And I've seen it plenty of times. And it's almost like you could tell when somebody got Ozempic face. They just get skinny and weird right here. And so, of course, I'm not the expert on this topic, but I obviously have seen this occur. It's very problemsome, and I think people need to be paying attention to this, especially when lawsuits are involved. But, of course, y'all know that I like to bring on the experts if I don't know exactly everything around a topic that I'm speaking on. So I have the senior health advisor from Brightcore, Ellie Hirsch, here to join me to talk about this GLP-1 nightmare and also Ozempic face. So, Ellie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it is. It's not pretty, right? Ozempic face is not pretty, right? You've lost the weight, but now you look awful. So a lot of people always wonder, like, what causes Ozempic face? And it's really the significant weight loss and how fast it's happening, right? So it causes your fat to kind of vanish super quickly, and then you have this depletion. So it leaves your skin with reduced elasticity, sagging, hollow cheeks, sunken eyes, and then your wrinkles intensify because the skin cannot shrink as fast as the fat disappears. You end up looking older, actually. But honestly, Ozempic face, it's kind of the least of your worries if you're taking these drugs, because the health issues are just insane. It's causing vision loss, stomach paralysis, complete organ failure, but now it's being linked to mood disorders, psychological disorders like anxiety and depression, hair loss, especially in women, pancreatic inflammation, and something, I don't know if you've heard of this, called Ozempic breath. So, it's a term that's describing this foul smelling breath, metallic taste. Yeah, almost like a fishy smelling burp. So more and more people are reporting this. So you look strange, you smell strange. So never good. And of course, as mentioned, it's causing all these health issues and not good on the inside or the outside. So,
there's another, I guess, side effect that I've heard about, and it is pretty much going blind. So I couldn't imagine if you wake up one day, you skinny as you want to be, your face looks crazy, but then now you somehow cannot see. So what is this Ozempic blindness? I think we have a clip.
Man, yeah.
We got a clip, roll a clip.
Well, another popular weight loss drug used by millions is now at the center of a growing number of lawsuits.
Yeah, one Maryland man says that it cost him his sight. He is speaking out after suddenly going blind in both eyes and claims the makers of Ozempic failed to warn patients about a potential risk.
Fox 5's Katie Barlow joins us now live with this exclusive story. Katie.
Todd Engel was a truck driver for Howard County Highways back in 2023 when his doctor prescribed him Ozempic for his diabetes. Then around New Year's Eve that year, he suffered a stroke and lost vision in his right eye. Now, he kept taking the drug, unaware of a potential connection. But 10 months later, he lost complete vision in his left eye. And now he's legally blind, diagnosed with Nion. Nion is the leading cause of sudden vision loss. And in his lawsuit, Engel claims that the drug makers were aware that Ozempic is associated with an increased risk of Nion and failed to disclose it.
I was terrified because the first thing that came to my mind is forget my job of being able to see my wife again.
Engel's wife, Shelley, has to help him with everything now, from going to the bathroom in public to driving to see family. The Engels had to buy new dishes with a half-inch lip on the outside to prevent Todd from dropping his food.
If I was cutting a small steak, I'm not sure if I'd be able to eat much of it.
He had to leave his job as a truck driver.
And I went in and I told them what happened, and I cried in front of my supervisors because I couldn't see anymore. I wasn't able to do my job that I really, really enjoyed and I loved doing.
That's a terrible situation to be in. I mean, goodness gracious, losing your sight is astronomical. What's your thoughts on that, Ellie?
Well, I mean, if you know the whole story, it gets even worse and more heartbreaking. So, hearing about he'll go into a store with his 7-year-old granddaughter, she'll hold him by the hand and say, "This way, Pop," kind of pulling him along like a puppy dog. And while he's grateful for the compassion that people and, his young grandchildren show him, he's embarrassed by this disability because he's been independent his whole life. And it's all because of a drug that he took. And, there are even instances of sudden death. This guy I read about, Rob Briggs, perfectly fine. He died within hours of catastrophic internal bleeding. They were able to resuscitate him, but he had severe brain damage, so his wife had to make the horrible and difficult decision to pull him off life support. I don't know if you've heard about Marsha Eddinghoff. So she was taking Ozempic for only 6 months before developing severe nausea and persistent vomiting. So within a few days, she choked on her vomit and died. I mean, these are horrible, horrible stories, all because they wanted to lose weight and, trusted the drug makers.
Yeah, and the bad thing is, it's not just the person's desire to lose weight. It's the drug makers not disclosing this stuff. Like, if you advise people that, hey, you could die or you could go blind, and you put it on the label, and it'll be fair. But, we have an article that we have where the Epic Times, I think it's the Epic, no, it's not, yeah, it's the Epic, no, Economic Times, where they have, some evidence that Ozempic could possibly be hiding the fact that people are dying from using Ozempic and some of these other GLP-1s.
Yeah, I mean, the FDA has actually accused Novo Nordisk of failing to properly, report how many actual cases of serious side effects, even the deaths, are associated with the drug. So people just don't know about it. They trust, right? I do want to switch gears for 1 second and just ask you, where do you think GLP-1 drugs come from? Your answer is surprising, I will tell you that.
Where they come from, meaning what region of the world?
Like, where does it originate from? What do you think?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea.
I didn't think
I'm
so.
hoping it's nowhere that's bad.
Okay, so it's from a very, very large lizard. You ever hear of the Gila monster?
Oh, yeah. We got Gila monsters here in Arizona.
Ooh, scary looking creature.
Oh, yeah. And they're poisonous. They're super dangerous.
Yes, yes.
So they come from the Gila monster?
Yes, they come from the Gila monster. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to look like a Gila monster. I don't want to smell like a Gila monster. So, it's really scary if you really, really look into all of these things. A lot of people ask me, how do these drugs actually work in the body, right? Like, what's going on?
Gila monsters, an iconic creature of the desert Southwest. And apparently, the scaly reptiles held the secret to modern weight loss.
They have a slow metabolism, and they can go on 2, 3, 4 meals in a given year and usually do just fine.
In the late 1980s, scientists started looking into a specific Gila monster gene.
But I think later, towards the end of 1990s, they discovered this specific protein in the Gila monster's venom, which was able to potentiate the effects of insulin made by our own bodies. And that was the protein that they sort of used to then come up with all these GLPs that we now had.
Gila monster venom is a large part of what helps them go for long periods of time without eating. And though humans still need more than 3 to 4 meals a year, it is one of the effects of GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic that have become quite popular for losing weight.
So they function because they slow down the metabolism and your digestive process, which is why stomach paralysis is so common, because sometimes it slows it down so much, it stops working completely. And so what happens is you essentially are forced to go on a starvation diet. Then malnutrition comes in, which plays a part in worsening depression. Humans are not meant to survive off 5 meals a year, right? So this form of weight loss causes you to lose more muscle than fat. So I don't know if you've heard of skinny fat, but yeah, you're losing weight, but you're getting fatter. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we have a clip. I think we have a clip about this. That's so funny you said that before we play the clip. Skinny fat. It's so funny because I thought that was the craziest thing when people were saying it. Like, there's a lot of women that said, "Oh, I'm skinny fat. I'm skinny fat." I'm like, how you skinny and fat at the same time? And then I started to realize what that looks like. You're skinny, but you have a lot of flab and everything else going on. And so you don't really look and feel like you're actually skinny. But here's the clip. It looked like from Megyn Kelly's show.
I'm sure you're very familiar with the latest craze with semaglutide, which is an injectable drug that has
Ozempic.
Yeah, Ozempic being the diabetes version of that, Wegovy being the pure weight loss version. It's the same drug, just a different name. What I see behind the scenes of what it's doing to people, and I'm sure other doctors can tell you similar stories. Ideal weight loss would be if you lose 20, 15 of it should be fat, 5 of it should be lean mass. So you can't just lose fat mass, but 3/4 of your weight loss should be fat mass. When we're putting patients on these drugs, we're doing DEXA scans before and after. This is something the FDA did not require the company to do when they sought approval. We're seeing 2/3 of the weight loss is lean mass. Only 1/3 is fat mass. So they're getting lighter, Megan, but they're getting fatter.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. Worst diet ever, right? This loss of muscle mass is leading to things like osteopenia, osteoporosis, which is causing something else called Ozempic bones. This is downright scary. I don't know if have you seen this before?
Yeah. We got a little picture of this.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Right?
That's fragile. I mean, you literally, the bone looks like it cannot handle weight and any of the normal things that the bone's supposed to be able to handle, especially if this is your femur. Imagine walking somewhere or lifting something and your femur snap in half because it's hollow. That's crazy.
Yeah. You would expect to maybe see this in someone who's much, much, much older. But there was a video earlier in the year. She was 30 years old. It went viral because she was diagnosed with advanced osteoporosis after only using Ozempic for 1 year, right? So we already know how to naturally lose weight through things like diet and exercise. Is it easy? No, we all know that, right? But that's why people want a quick fix. And, this is really interesting. Something a lot of people don't know. There was a study done. It showed that people who are obese are actually missing a couple of crucial probiotics within their gut that people with a healthy weight, they possess. Isn't that crazy? And having these specific strains in your gut is what makes all the difference between being obese or being skinny. And I do want to say that it's not always due to body fat that people have big bellies. Bloating plays a huge role in what your waistline looks like. And kimchi, yes, kimchi has been shown to significantly reduce bloating. And that's because you have better digestion, better regularity. You're not full of poop, right? So kimchi has these special probiotic strains. In fact, over 900 of them. And that's why recent studies show how effective eating kimchi actually is.
Oh, I love that. Kimchi reduces fat or body fat by 31.8%. That's legit. It's this
really
rumor.
is.
Like I think people don't understand how important gut health is. It's like they call it your second brain because you have your brain here, and if your gut is all toe up, it causes all kinds of issues. But that is interesting. 31 and 0.8, almost 32% of reduced body fat. That's insane.
And it helps people maintain a healthy body weight, right? And no drugs, just kimchi. And it also showed a significant reduction in abdominal fat in women and even more so in men. We all know men as they get older, right? Their bellies, you get that dad bod.
Yes,
and
I
women
know that
too,
very well.
Right? Just saying, yeah. But obesity is just the sign of our health. It's not the totality of it. And like you said, it all comes down to the gut microbiome. It really plays a huge part in addressing the root cause of all of our health problems, right? And so those of you who are unsure of what that is, it's basically an internal ecosystem that helps keep your body working properly. And when there's a disruption in the health of your gut, it triggers metabolic changes. So you store fat more, right? Which causes chronic inflammation, which then leads to higher rates of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, cognitive decline, like, Alzheimer's, dementia. And so there was another study done about how kimchi is so powerful on the impact of cardiovascular health. It just goes on and on.
Wow. This is incredible. Kimchi consumption. This is a whole bunch of big words I'm not going to even get into. But the system review of meta-analysis. Let's see, intervention studies. So I'm not gonna read all that because that's a lot of crazy big words. But I think you can explain it for us.
Yeah. So basically, they're saying that consumption of kimchi was shown to balance blood sugar, regulate blood pressure, lower bad cholesterol, and our core philosophy is that our appearance is a reflection of our inner health, right? And if we want to fix issues that appear on the surface, like obesity, you have to start at the root cause. You have to start within. And, the key to getting all these benefits and more from kimchi is daily consumption. And that is why we created Kimchi One. Right? Kimchi is not something that's easy to eat every day. It's not in the American diet as a staple. But now it is, because we've created these convenient capsules made for daily use. And, for those that are wondering, we use a cold process drying method, so it retains all the fiber and nutrition of actual fermented kimchi. Virtually no sodium, unlike store-bought kimchi, 100% made in the USA, all natural, non-GMO, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free. And what I love the most about people taking this and talking with them is the success stories, right? We talked earlier about, digestion and bloating. People had problems with that. They're not having problems. They're regular. And I have to say, personally, the first thing I noticed when I took this is my jeans. They buttoned up a little bit easier. And I was actually blown away that I could see results so quickly. And, people had problems with their immune system, right? People getting sick all the time, not really sure why they aren't getting sick anymore. Because, oh, by the way, 70 to 80% of the immune system is housed in the gut. Right? So supporting gut health supports immune health. And kimchi, honestly, is the perfect way to do that. And then lastly, people who experience chronic fatigue, always tired, just dragging, low energy, they have energy again. And how about the people with diabetes, right? Some of those, that's kind of where the whole drug, the GLP-1 originated, struggle with their blood sugar, blood pressure, and weight. They are experiencing a dramatic change. So it's all very exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because, it's funny, because we got a little Kimchi One here at the headquarters. And I'll say this, some of the guys came in with a bad stomach, and we had them take the kimchi. And God is my witness. I'm not making this up. Immediate difference. An immediate difference. I almost want to bring them on camera so they could tell the immediate difference in how they feel in their gut. I've had times where I felt a little awkward in my gut, something I ate. I took kimchi, and literally 2 times of taking it, I felt tremendously better. So, you spark it in me. I got to be more consistent on the kimchi, but it does work, though. It does work.
It does work. It's really a miracle. It's just a miracle for your overall health, and it's exciting that we get to share it with you.
Yes, and I think you got something for my audience.
Yeah, so you can all get 25% off by clicking the link below and using code Tatum, but I would say you should call, and that number is 888-751-4429. And the reason is because you can get up to 50% off plus free shipping. And the first 100 callers, you're going to get a free bottle of Fortify with your order. Fortify is great because it contains all 9 essential amino acids to protect against cellular damage, helps retain muscle mass, because it delivers the building blocks your muscles need more efficiently than just eating a ton of protein. But you only get the bigger discount and the free bottle of Fortify when you call in to order. That number again is 888-751-4429.
All right, so y'all better call in. Ellie, thank you so much for coming on. God bless you. And
Thank you.
Hopefully we can talk again.
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all better get that kimchi in your system. Ask Nick. I ain't trying to put him on the spot. Nick came in here with a tummy ache. I said, boy, you better get some of that kimchi in your life. And honest to God, as soon as he took kimchi, he go, man, that actually worked. It does. It works.